How's it going? That was weak. I'm not gonna lie, guys. That was weak. How's it going? Well, the ladies are ready. Gentlemen, y'all ready? All right. Okay, so before we get too started, I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker today. If I can have Rex McGee come on up here. He is the father of Bobby Joe McGee, and they have been coming to camp for right at 25 years. And so I'm going to let him kind of speak on his experience there.
Thank you. All right, you the Bulldogs. Well, first of all, thanks, Dallas. That was a beautiful rendition. I still get cold chills when the national anthem is sung. It's true that Bobby and I have been going to camp for quite a while. And I'm here to give you a little perspective on what it's like to be a parent of a child that attends camp and make promises happen. You know, usually I'm on the opposite side of it as a volunteer, but as a parent, we're able to go and do different things and leave our child at camp in able hands while we go and are going on vacation. A few years back, my wife and I had heard about a camp in Guthrie. It was a place that we could take our multi-handicapped daughter, and they would let her horseback ride, go swimming, do some canoeing, play arts and crafts. And all of this would happen with a volunteer, so we wouldn't have to be there. She wouldn't have to hold her daddy's hand the whole time. So this is something that we'd never thought about, was to leave our daughter at home, at camp with somebody we'd never met before. And because our little history on her, she was 2 months premature, and her body wasn't fully developed whenever she was born. So her first brain surgery was when she was 6 months old. And then she had subsequent surgeries after that, which as a part of it was left her with cerebral palsy and a seizure disorder, and also she's visually impaired. So one good thing about it is she could hear great. So, but anyway, when we explained all these things at camp, they were like, "We don't care, just bring her on, we'll take care of her." So that was kind of a nice thing that we found out from a parent, that would give us a break from the daily needs of being a full-time caregiver. And I'm not the only parent that's like that. We've met the very first time that we went up there. I was very concerned about leaving my child up there with people that we'd never even met before. So I've got butterflies in my stomach, and we check in with the nurse and check in the medications, and we meet the lady that's going to be her counselor for the week. And everything was going fine until I got time to where it was ready to go home. So I got in the car, and I just couldn't leave. I just couldn't turn the key on the ignition to leave my little girl at camp with somebody I'd never met before. So after I visited with some of the parents, they assured me that she was in good hands and everything would be fine. But still, there was that nagging responsibility of being a parent. So I went back up to the table, the check-in table, and I said, "Hey, would y'all mind if I just stayed for the week and you could give me some extra duties to do?" And so luckily there was a volunteer that didn't show up, and I was able to fill his spot, which was great. I was able to help out at camp, but what was the best part about it, I was able to watch my daughter interact with somebody that was completely different at arm's length. That once she realized that she was out of her normal routine, she just kind of blossomed and opened up. And it was nice for us because she'd been under a protective wing the whole time that she was born, or since she was born. So The problem with me being there for a whole week was I fell in love with the camp also. And started out going as a parent. Then I turned out to be a counselor because I loved going up there to the camp. These kids are so infectious with their personality that you just absolutely fall in love with them. And so every time that my daughter would go to camp, I would go as a counselor and I would be with a different camper. So I was still close enough to her that if anything went wrong while I was there, but it gave us a different realm of new friendships that she enjoys every time that we go to camp. Also, her camping experiences have kind of blossomed a little bit. For the last 16 years, we've been going with the camp to Colorado, and she's a snow skier. So. And she's pretty good too. I have the chore of following her down the hill, trying to video her, but usually they're a lot faster than I am. But at camp, she's developed so many friendships that she looks forward to going back every year and seeing her friends. And I've done the same thing. We look forward to functions like this. We'll, even when Bobby is not going to a camp, we will go up there whenever they're having a talent show or the dance and just check in, and everybody just falls in love with her. Of course, everybody would. But what I wanted to pass on to you guys is, and I think that there are some of the Edmond Bulldogs that have been our counselors in the past, and some of our campers have come from your school also. But to pass on to you what you can do for our camp, and we do certainly appreciate you choosing to make promises happen as a recipient for Swine Week, but is to be a champion for not only for yourself and your community, but for also for the people in the disabled community. Because if you won't fight for them, nobody's going to fight for them. But I know that from seeing all the banners on the wall that Edmond Bulldogs are true champions. So that's what you do, a champion does, is go out and make a difference. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much.